This video is packed full of some high-end fall inspiration using Dollar Tree glassware pieces. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and let's get into it. First, we are going to make like the cutest pumpkin drink with like whipped cream on the top. I love this so much. So the first thing I'm doing is painting this mug. Now I paint the inside on some of these crafts and the outside on some of these crafts, so either way doesn't really make a difference, but for this I knew I was going to be gluing something on the top or covering over the top, so I thought it would be the best to actually put the paint on the inside. I did mix it with a little bit of brown, so orange and brown, to get more of a darker color. The next thing I needed to do was put some kind of top on it so that I could make like the whipped cream on the top. So I put a styrofoam ball down in the mug, and that's going to kind of help hold the top up, and then took the second one, and yes, these both came from Dollar Tree. Took the second one, cut the bottom off so it would set on top of one of these little wooden circles, and then covered that with the spackling. So I just like randomly found a wooden circle that I had on hand. Dollar Tree has tons. They have in the crafting section. This came out of like the floral section. It was called a wreath charm, but I've never used it as that, so I just pick these up when I see them. The first thing I did though with covering it with the spackle was just pushing it onto the styrofoam ball, because I felt like whenever I go to like pipe spackling on there, it would stick a lot better rather than just to the styrofoam. And then I noticed that a lot of this brown was showing through, so I went ahead and covered that white. So the Dollar Tree spackling that I picked up was a little bit dry to stick in a piping bag, so I mixed it with just a tiny bit of water. Definitely add less and keep adding it so you don't get it too watered down, but I kept mixing this until it was kind of like icing consistency, and then I already had some Wilton bags on hand with a star tip, so I'm going to be filling that up and then piping it on top. Now you don't want to get this too runny because it's just going to melt off of the styrofoam ball, so you want to keep it pretty thick. It didn't like go on there perfect. I didn't get it perfect, but it's completely fine. This is just a really fun craft. And then I'm going to be putting some glitter on the top, and that's going to camouflage in any imperfections. I will say though, after filming this, I did go back in and add some little stars around the edges to fill it in, so you can add as much or as little as you would like, however you want to. You can add the little stars all over it, but I just liked how this looked like it was just built up like a cupcake topper, and then like I mentioned, adding in that glitter. I love how it makes it sparkle, but it does hide a lot of the imperfections. And then I picked up these paper straws from Walmart. I decided to go with this really fun gold and white pattern, stuck it right down into the styrofoam, and then you can just set this on top. And then I had these little pumpkin stickers, so I definitely had to stick something on the mug. This is the cutest decor piece, perfect for tiered trays, countertops, shelves, but I love it in the kitchen area. And then you wouldn't even have to DIY the mug. I found this adorable little ghost mug at TJ Maxx and stuck it on there, and it's just as cute. How cute are these little ceramic loaf pans? They have the most beautiful fall designs, as well as these little ceramic pie pans. I thought they were adorable, and I knew I could make these into some gorgeous candles. So these are so high-end looking. I just love them. First of all, I'm using some of the tall glass candles from the Dollar Tree, and these are just the biggest bang for your buck. They have the most wax in them. They melt down super easy. I like to take like a large stock pot and just put a few inches of water in it, set the candles carefully down inside of that, and then set the stove to about medium, and then just carefully watch this. Now don't touch the glass, be super careful after it gets hot. I always like to use oven mitts, but a really good trick is to use like some Dollar Tree tongs or something that can be disposable, or maybe you save them just for using candles, to pull out the wick, put it in the middle, use like a paintbrush or a pin to hold it in place while you pour the candle. But these turned out even better than expected and super cozy for the fall season. Next up, I am pouring some candles into these round ceramic pie pans, or that's what I'm calling them. For the first one, I just used white. For the second one, at the time of filming this, I couldn't find orange candles at the Dollar Tree, so I did have to pick up some from Dollar General. Went ahead and got those set up, trimmed the wicks back, and then I wanted the orange one to look like a little pumpkin pie, so I'm using some of Dollar Tree's spackle, mixing it with a little bit of water. You want like a thick icing consistency. Put it in like an icing bag with a star tip, and then put some little stars around the edging. This is absolutely adorable. Obviously, you cannot burn this. This is not wax and it will not melt. So I do not burn the pumpkin pie one, but the white one is good to burn. These are so cute. You could use tons of different colors, but these are the perfect little containers to hold these candles in. And the pumpkin pie is just my favorite. It will be so cute styled in a kitchen or dining area, but makes it so cozy. Adding in all these fun candles and definitely makes it smell so good in the house. Okay, so I thought these little ceramic decorative bowls were very like nice quality. These are like a ceramic glass kind of texture, so they would break if you drop them hard, but you could easily spray paint these. Now these don't feel like they were meant to decorate as is. They're a really matte texture. It feels primed. Maybe it is. Maybe you're supposed to decorate with just the white. But to me, they look unfinished, like you are supposed to paint them. So this gives us the perfect blank canvas to match anybody's style. Paint this any color that you would like. So I wanted to fix these up to put them in a bowl or some type of container and make them look really cute. I ended up spray painting a couple of them orange, a couple of them with this London gray color, which is more of like a brown, one green, put them in a riser or tiered tray, and got this really fun arrangement. Pottery Barn is one of my favorite places to look for inspiration for fall decor. They have the prettiest things. Now, this isn't specifically advertising the vase or vase. It is actually selling the branches, but how gorgeous is that ceramic vase? I love it. So you could use any type of huge container from the Dollar Tree. I opted to go into my local thrift store and pick up a huge glass container. I wanted to get the shape just as close as I could, but I knew this would take some major work. So I removed the tag, and then I'm going to be adding on some spackle. So I knew that glass is super slippery and it wasn't going to adhere to it very well. So giving it a coat of my chalk paint, any color will do. You can actually it's kind of like priming it, and then it's going to give it that textured chalky finish, where then I can go in with my lightweight spackle, and this did come from Dollar Tree, and I can rub it on there. So at first I didn't know how to get it on there. I just kind of threw it on there, but then I discovered kind of rubbing it back and forth in the direction that I wanted to make the pattern anyways. It worked a lot better, so just rubbed it on there very easy. I tried to just get it super thick. I wanted as much texture as I could get, so really just building it up and leaving it very thick. And then you could use like a hair comb or anything, like how fine or perfect you wanted your lines. I love how it's just rough looking. I'm just keeping on with that pattern and letting it dry as is. And then you even can do the same effect on some of Dollar Tree's little like paper boxes or any type of plastic bowl or container. But I had this little gift box that I ended up adding the spackle to as well, and then letting that dry. Now some of the larger chunks didn't want to dry very easily, so in the drying process I went ahead and knocked some of them off so that this could dry really hard, and then I can go in and paint over it. The vase that we're copying on the website had this gorgeous rust orange color, so I was trying to create that. I didn't know what I was doing at first. I just started throwing colors together. I mixed some orange and brown and didn't like it, but the key to that was adding in some red. So I accidentally got too much red, so I added back in some orange and got the perfect shade that I was looking for. So painted this entire thing, and then I'm going to mix up just a little bit more paint, but actually using more brown this time so that I can dry brush over it. So I love playing around and mixing with paint. The only thing whenever you are doing a project, especially like a bigger one like this one, whenever you do like mix a paint, I like to mix a lot of it, because if you run out, it's hard to get that exact same color. So just trying not to waste too much or use up all of it, but I did go ahead and paint down some on the inside in case you were able to see it. But this is so fun, painting over all of that textured spackle. It's letting all of the texture show up really nicely, and this is going to look so good after we clear coat it. So the key to getting this to look like an actual store-bought piece is to really load this down with clear coat. But don't just spray a ton on there. You have to do several light coats. You don't want the paint to run or crack. That's going to give it a really cheap look. So lightly doing some layers of this, but that shiny gloss is going to make it look like actual like glazed pottery. I absolutely love the texture on this project and exactly how it turned out. Glass pumpkins are a huge thing. Like, it's very high end to put glass pumpkins everywhere, and you can see how they style these. These are actually like fake candles in these glass containers. They don't have any like hole or any way to burn a candle in these. So I thought we could get the same look by picking up one of these like pumpkin shaped jars from Dollar Tree. I wanted to spruce mine up a little bit more by adding in one of these leather tags. Now I did end up lighting a candle in this, and the glass got really hot and it didn't work so great. So I would recommend only using like LED lights in these or a fake candle. But this looks so gorgeous just for $2.50 to get to put these together and display. It is such a fun look, and I feel like it looks super nice. I mentioned in a previous video that I don't love super spooky Halloween, but I do love decorating with little witches and like stuff that would make you or remind you of like trick-or-treat night. So I know a lot of people fuss at me for not taking the labels off of my mug and painting over it. Definitely take yours off if you can, but for video purposes, I struggle with those labels like nothing you've ever seen before. I heat them up, pull them off, but sometimes it's just easier if they're not going to be seen to paint over them. So I give this 2 coats of this green color, and then I wanted to add a little 3D nose. So I filled in a little wooden bead with some wood filler, gonna glue that on the front and then paint over it. And after this dried, I took my paint marker once again and gave it the cutest little face. I made it look like her little mouth was open. And then I was just going to draw on her eyes with this black marker, but then I felt like it missed the pop of the whites in her eyes, so I did go back and add some white paint on top. And then, because I thought it would be super cute to add a little broom, like the witch was holding a broom, and then I could put anything that I want inside of this mug, I found one of these eucalyptus like scented broom pieces. I cut all the tops off with a pair of scissors, added a dowel rod, and this made the perfect little mini broom. I know it don't look perfect with the stick behind it, but whenever I tied the ribbon on to connect it to the mug, it all blended in perfect. You wasn't able to even tell that the stick wasn't inside the broom, but I'm sure that you could drill a hole in there and get it inside there if you would like it to. But added the white on the eyes as well as that little gingham bow, and this turned out perfect. This is perfect for like a cocoa bar, any type of like Halloween, like once again on a tier tray or a countertop. I filled mine full of hot cocoa, but I think it looks so cute. I love how this witch turned out. Dollar Tree is always stepping up their ceramic game. They come out with these new little ceramic pots or planters, but these are so cute. They have the little handles on the side. I found them in white and black. You could spray paint these any color that you would like, but I think these would be perfect for a fall floral arrangement. So these are some of my favorite flowers from Dollar Tree. These ones, they say wheat, but they are a mixture of like wheat and leaves and sunflowers. I love these. You're not getting as many flowers, but it like makes up for it how full these little picks are. You just pop this right inside, and then I thought it would look really good adding in some of that plaid around this vase. It coordinates perfectly with the black, something that you can put together in just a couple of minutes, but definitely screams fall.